sure deserves one. And when he's back from his break, you'll see his parts made in Japan. He is the Moron Man. So give him a break.
Okay, what am I filming at? 40. All right. So hey guys, I wasn't planning to actually make this video. Actually, I have this GoPro on a selfie stick, and I was thinking I would do a time lapse of the clouds as I walked to the gym. But as you can see, there are not many clouds out today, right? So I thought, you know, that's kind of a waste, but don't want to waste time. So why not talk to my Patreon supporters? Yeah, so hi guys, this is just for Patreon. I want to thank a lot of people who joined the other day. I made that video calling out names, kind of a drama video, I guess about a week ago, maybe a little bit more. And a lot of people seem to enjoy that. Of course, that's not, I don't think it was certainly just because I named names, but hopefully it was because of some of the I don't know, insight or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, but I have been busy as hell, but it's bizarre. Like I'm kind of between breaks on some major classes that I teach at companies. There's like a month-long break. It coincides with school years. So here's the thing. So like I'm kind of off from companies, but because there's a school year break, I get like high school students that pop in who just want to like do like a little intensive, or people or moms who suddenly have some more time or something, or even teachers. So I get the odd class, but I don't have a scheduled morning class for about a month. I've been going to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, and I've really felt like it's improving my. I feel good, you know. What do you want to say? Improving my strength, stamina, whatever. But I feel good, and I've been cleaning up a lot. The stop. It says stop. The car, you know, didn't stop. It's gonna run me over. Well, let me get to the point. So I've been cleaning up a lot, like it takes hours. When I first got married, we threw everything that I owned into the 3rd floor of my house. We have three stories, and third story is kind of smaller. You know, the 1st and 2nd floor are about the same, but the 3rd story is kind of like almost half a story. But there's a lot of room for storage, so I threw all these boxes up there, and I didn't even know what was up there, and we just threw it up haphazardly with no organization. So the point being that I had no idea what was up there anymore, and things that I thought were lost were, you know, I went up there and I started going through it and trying to figure out what was up there, and I found a lot of stuff and threw away a lot of stuff, and I started just getting rid of things. And then I started doing the same thing at my school, like going through old VHSs and, you know, throwing them away, because what's the point? I threw away, in total, I think, over 300 VHS tapes. So that's good. And yeah, I'm just trying to get more organized so I can get more done, because I feel like the less I have in my life, the more I can do. Does that make sense? And one of those things that I have been remiss is, of course, taking care of the Patreons people, because I do like interaction with you guys. Those birds, I always feel like they're hawks or something. Of course they're not. So I've got all these things that I bought to give away or to send to Patreon supporters, but it's just seriously, it's like taking up a whole corner of a room. It's literally hundreds of things, including like A4 movie posters. I did send some out, and I have sent some things out on occasion, but there's so much more that I want to send out, just to say thank you, and just to give people, you know, well, yeah, just to say thank you, because I appreciate the support. And I have some good stuff in there that I don't know how to get rid of, which I think are really interesting. But no one, I can't seem to get anyone's attention on. One of those filters. One of those garbage. It was shining like a piece of, like a knife or something. Or a piece of gold. I've been watching American Gods, and there's a leprechaun in the show, which is pretty funny. He's actually a really big guy. He's like, don't stereotype leprechauns. We're not all small. Anyway. Oh, so colorful, just colorful petals have fallen down and all. It's weird how all the petals kind of. Why are they all there? Well, I guess someone collected them and put them there and put this rock on them. Some kid must have done that. Look, a little collection of petals. This is the pit where they burn, like, what do you call it? Charms and stuff. So Japanese like to collect, like many superstitious people, they collect these things that they hang on their door for good luck every year. And then when they get rid of them, you have to get rid of them properly. And that means to burn them in the pit at a temple, right? Anyway, so yeah, I've got all this stuff I'm trying to get to, trying to clean up my mess. But at the same time, I've been, you know, I've got all these other duties, like the kids, of course. And there's a new teacher I have to train. I met 2 days ago, very well recommended teacher, but it's a bit annoying because you have to say things in a job situation that are not necessarily, that are kind of obvious, right? That you don't want to say, but you have to say them because then no one can say you didn't say them, right? One of those things was, you know, I'll give you examples, like come to class on time, dress appropriately, don't sleep with students, you know, don't come to class smelling like alcohol. Well, that one I've never had to say, but I mean, if that happened, of course, you'd be presentable. I think it includes all that stuff. So I had a guy that was interviewing for a teaching job, and he had some like piercings and like a bunch in his face. And it was the first time I met him, he didn't have those, but he had them the second time. We met in a more casual situation, like a coffee shop, just to talk about details. And of course I commented on them. I said, it doesn't bother me at all, but I said, you know, if we send him out to some company to do business jobs, I prefer he not wear that. And I think he knew that. I didn't think I had to say it, but you know, after I left our meeting, I thought, I better make sure that's clear. So I called him back and said, you know that, right? I mean, I don't have to say that, right? And then he texted back, kind of ticked off. He said, you know, I teach business classes at Toyota, and if I can teach there, then and those are you know, jobs that even you can't get. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I've actually worked at Toyota, taught at Toyota, so it's not that hard to do. Anyway, I was a bit put off by the whole the knee-jerk reaction to that. I mean, in a way, it's good in that he agrees that it's obvious that that you should, you know how to dress when you go to work. But at the same time, he's got. But I don't know that about him. So it's kind of a pain dealing with other foreigners. Yeah. And the funny thing is, we were talking. We were both commenting on the fact that the most difficult people to deal with in Japan are other foreigners. Not the Japanese. The Japanese are fine. Most people. Good morning. Yeah, but it is. I think one of the most the most friction, most of the friction in my life comes from foreigners and of course my own family. my brother, my wife, you know, my kids. And of course that's because you care, right, about them. So the people closest to you cause you the most problems. So ideally the best, yeah, here's the thing, you know, like the small interactions I have with the people who are like in the periphery of my life are usually quite pleasant, and I feel like I can brighten someone's day quite easily who I don't know very well, even strangers, right? But when it comes to sometimes people who are closer to me or who I can communicate with rather easily like another foreigner, it seems like it's a lot more difficult. When I feel like it shouldn't be, right? Shouldn't those people be easier to make happy and to communicate with? But for some reason they're not. So, well, you know the old sayings, familiarity breeds contempt. So I guess the most peaceful relationships in this world would be those that are kind of at arm's reach a little bit. Okay, anyway, but I went to the barber last night with a guy to get his hair cut and filmed it, and the guy, the barber, and I and his sister, we all get along really well, and I'm hoping we don't become too familiar, because I would hate to ruin that relationship. I did discover one thing about this GoPro 7 though. When it overheats, it turns off automatically. And filming at 4K 60 frames per second for more than 20 minutes overheats it in a, probably not outside because it's cold today, but in that room yesterday kept having that problem. So I did learn something. Yeah, every time I make a video I learn something new and I get a little bit better. So that's good. Anyway, that's all for now, guys, but I do want to thank Patreon, and I'll be making some videos highlight once I'm done cleaning up a little bit more. I'll make some videos showing you guys what I want to send out to many of you. And of course, if anyone has requests. Oh yeah. God damn it, I forgot his name. It just slipped my mind, but there's a guy who emailed me about an interesting question, which I'll make a separate video about. Yeah, I'll make a separate video about, maybe make it open to everybody so he can get more interaction. It might be more, he has a question about a moral or ethical question about something I did in a video, and it might be something useful to throw out to everybody to see what people think. Yeah, okay, so we'll do that in the next video. It's about a ticket. It's about a subway ticket that I sometimes give away to other people, and whether that's really good for society. All right, that's all for now. So talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, bye.